Dear students and viewers, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all in my YouTube channel, Z Chemistry. Today's topic is about ray diagrams. Ray diagrams for convex mirrors. इससे पहले भी हमने रे डायग्राम्स पढ़े हैं, तो वहाँ पे हमने रे डायग्राम्स फॉर कनकेव मिरर्स पढ़े हैं. तो रे डायग्राम्स के बारे में हमें पता ही है कि रे डायग्राम्स में क्या है कि यहाँ पे on the position of the object, on the base of the position of the object, the nature of image, the size of image, or we can state that the position of image can be known. Hence, we will start our topic with the first case. In this particular case, we kept the object at infinity. In about infinity, as we know that it is that position that cannot be depicted or that cannot be shown on the paper, or that cannot be shown in the image. That particular position is called as infinity position. And when from this infinity position, two parallel rays are coming that strike this convex mirror at position D and at the pole of the mirror. Both these incident rays from the object at infinity, they get reflected. One of the ray that gets that reflected as dx, and another ray that gets reflected as py. When both these reflected rays they are produced, or they are propagated, or they are moved backwards, they intersect at a point, or they intersect each other at f. And this point of intersection of these reflected rays is the position of the image. Here we have to know a rule of the formation of the image. Whenever a ray that strikes with the pole of the convex mirror, it produces the whenever this strikes at the pole of the mirror, the reflected ray, it forms the same angle with the principal axis as has been formed by the incident ray. Hence, when these reflected rays they are propagated backwards, or they are moved backwards, or they are elongated backwards, they strike each other at a point. This point is focus, or we can, at this point of intersection, it is basically the position of the image, or we can state that the image, in case of in this particular case, when the object is kept as infinity, the image is formed behind the mirror, and the position is focus. Behind the mirror at the focus. The position of the image is behind the mirror at focus. The nature of the image is that image formed in case of convex mirror is always erect and virtual. This is the image is, its position is just like this. It is erect and it is virtual. This image cannot be shown on the screen. That's why it is a virtual image. The nature of the image is erect as well as virtual. The image is, the size of the image is very small as the size of the object. The size of the image is very small as the size of the object. Hence, we can state that the image is highly diminished when the object is kept at infinity. It is the first case. In second case, the object is kept between infinity and pole of the mirror. Infinity is that position that cannot be obtained on the screen, or that cannot be depicted on the paper, or that cannot be depicted on the plane. Hence, the object can hence infinity position is that position that cannot be shown on the screen. Usually here in this particular case, the object is kept behind this. The object is kept in front of this pole. It can be called that that object is between infinity, that position which is not on the screen, and pole. That position which is not in the screen, that is infinity, and this is pole. Between these two is the object. When object is kept between infinity and pole, there are two types of rays are coming from this source of the light. One of the rays that is parallel to this principal axis, and as we it strikes the mirror at point D, or it gets reflected from this mirror at point D. And another ray is there that goes to the center of the curvature. And both these reflected rays, when the ray goes to center of the curvature, the reflected ray, it retraces its path along the same. It retraces its path, or it comes back along the same path. And both these reflected rays, when they are proceeded backwards, or they are elongated backwards, they intersect each other at a position which is between the pole and the focus of the mirror, or which is between the pole and the principal focus of the mirror, and this particular position or this particular spot is the position of the image. Hence we can state that image is formed behind the mirror and it is between pole and focus. It is between pole and focus of the mirror. Image is formed image is formed behind the mirror between pole and focus of the mirror. When the object is kept between infinity and pole, two types of rays, in which one of the ray that goes through this center of the curvature after reflection, this particular reflected ray, it retraces its path. It retraces its path and it comes back along the same path. And another ray that is parallel to this principal axis. After reflection, this particular ray goes through the focus of the mirror. Both these reflected rays, they get intersected at a position which is behind the mirror and between pole and focus, and this is the position of the image. Hence we can state that image is formed behind the mirror between pole and focus of the mirror. The image is erect and virtual. The image is diminished, or the size of the image is small than the size of the object, or we can state that the image is diminished. First case, where object was kept at infinity, image is formed behind the mirror at focus. Nature of the image, it is erect and virtual. The image is highly diminished. And in the second case, the object was kept between infinity and the pole. The image is formed. The position of the image is behind the mirror and between pole and principal focus, or pole and focus of the mirror. The image is erect and virtual. The size of the image is smaller than the size of the object, or we can state that the size of the image is diminished. So this was all about ray diagrams for convex mirrors. Have a nice day.